Hey everybody, welcome to Joe and Tell. I am Joe, and yes, it has been a while since I've done one of these videos. I'm sad to say. Uh, it's been crazy busy lately, and when I actually finally have time to do something like this, I'm so tired that I'm like, I don't really feel like going through all the effort. So here I am though today. It's a beautiful day out this morning, and front porch with not a new pipe, but it's my Sherlock Holmes P-lip, and in it I've got some what is it? Peter Stokkebye's 17 English Luxury. So I want to light that up, and then something interesting happened to me recently. Not a big deal, but it's a first, and it has to do with pipe smoking. So let me light this up, and I'll tell you a little story, which I'm sure will lead into some questions that I have. So I almost had a new pipe for you, all to see, but somebody managed to snag it out from under me. I was too slow. Always nice and pleasant. It's finally been consistently warm. I believe we are finally past all the coat and jacket weather, but who knows? So anyway, like I was saying, been busy. Haven't really had time to do these. In fact, a lot of the times I'll do these on the weekends, but one of my kids is doing softball, so they that takes up a lot of time. And then of course I'm not doing this, but I do enjoy a pipe at the practices and at the games, and that kind of leads me into the story I want to share. I got into trouble at one of the games. So last year, every game I went to, I would sit basically behind home plate, watch the game, smoke my pipe. Not a single issue. No one said a word. In fact, I would even say, like, if somebody came by, I'm just like, well, hey, if this bothers you, I'll move. I'm like, oh no, you're fine, you're fine. A lot of people would say, oh, I even like the smell, so no, it's totally fine. Of course, they'd tell me how bad it is for me, but they would say, I like the smell. uh, so that was all last season, not an issue. This season, first game that we went to, I'm like, and it's pretty dead at the ballpark. There's not a whole lot of games going on. There's not a whole lot of people there. I'm sitting in my same spot, and I get about 5 to 10 minutes into my pipe. Had lit it, started to enjoy it. The umpire turns and looks at me, and I thought, well, maybe he smokes a pipe too, and he's wanting to know what's going on or whatever. No, he pauses the game and turns around and tells me, we have designated smoking areas, and that's not one of them. I was like, oh, okay. Uh, he's like, you want to go up near the concessions, up to the front pavilion. I'm like, oh, okay. In my mind, I'm thinking, so sitting here where there's nobody really around me, smoking a pipe is not okay, but you want me to go by where everybody's buying food? I was like, that doesn't make any sense. But I did go off enough that I was I wanted to watch the game, so I went far enough away that I was out of nose shot, I guess, so he couldn't smell me. But yeah, I was a little surprised by that. And sure enough, they do have specific designated smoking areas, but and I get it, like cigarette smokers tend to leave butts on the ground and stuff, and then nobody wants to pick those up. I'm certainly not going to leave my pipe laying on the ground, and the ashes are just ashes; they go away, But yeah, I did get into trouble, and in the meantime, he's telling me these things like the players are all looking at us, and the other parents are all looking at us. I'm like, hi. Well, not us, just me. My wife was somewhere else. So a little embarrassing, but it didn't deter me. I still finished my pipe, like any good pipe smoker should, right? But that makes me think about, have any of you all out there in the pipe smoking community faced a similar situation, or have you been reprimanded or been in trouble for smoking a pipe in public? And I know by watching a lot of your videos, you guys out there, a lot of you just smoke at home and don't, or maybe you just don't obviously make videos out and about. But I was just curious, do you guys have any stories about getting into trouble for smoking a pipe, or a cigar? I mean, cigar I could understand. People tend to not like those, especially the smell. So I could understand that a little bit more. And then you've got the nub at the end that you leave in an ashtray or somewhere. But I was a little surprised by the pipe. However, I didn't use it. It was a good opportunity for me to turn it into a teachable moment for my son, who, is every bit of a teenager. And those of you who have had or have teenagers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And when I ask him to do something, it's a lot of rebuttal. It's a lot of why. It's a lot of that doesn't make sense, or I shouldn't have to do that, or just a lot of excuses as to why he shouldn't have to do what I'm asking him to do. And so I shared with him what happened at the softball game. And I said, I could have, if you think about it from the perspective that nobody's around me. I'm not hurting anybody. Nobody's come and complain. I'm not going to leave any trash on the ground. We're outside. All of these factors could have played in, and I could have thrown that back at this umpire. I'm like, look, man, come on, really? There's nobody here. And I could have done that. But I told my son, I recognized him as an authority figure. Whether I respect him or know him or whatever, it doesn't matter. He's an authority, and I need to listen to him. If he's telling me that I can't smoke where I'm smoking, I need to correct that and not throw it back in his face, because that's not my position. My position is to listen to the authority that's over me. And if I'm at that ballpark, that authority is over me, and I have to abide by their rules. Even if they don't make sense to me, even if I disagree with them, you still got to listen, and you still got to do what you're being asked to do. So a little ding on the old pride for me, but teachable moment for my son, hopefully. But anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. I know it's been a long time since I've put one of these out, and I apologize. Hopefully it won't be as long, but who knows? Life gets crazy at times, as I'm sure you all know. So, but anyway, I appreciate you guys tuning in. I hope you like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.